Hi folks, Dave with DBS Tech Talk. And today we're going to do a review of the Massdrop Hifiman Edition XX. It's a $600 planar magnetic headphone and is a collaboration between Massdrop and Hifiman, and I'm truly in love with it. Let's get on with the review, shall we? Comes in the standard hard cardboard box, nothing special about it, no display cases, no wood boxes for storage, anything like that. It's just a piece of foam. Open it up and you have your headphones and your cable, and that's it. So if you're expecting anything special about the unboxing, these do not have it. The specs on it are that it is 20 ohms and it is 93 dB in sensitivity. So it's fairly easy to drive, but in order to get the best out of it, you will want to use an amplifier of some sort. More on that later. Also, it weighs 14.8 ounces and it has a frequency response of, I believe, let's see here. Yes, 8 hertz to 50 kilohertz. So it is well extended in both directions. Now for the unpleasantries. For a $600 headphone, you would think that you would get a better cable, but the cable that comes with it wins the award for the worst cable I have ever experienced with a headphone. This is by far the worst thing ever. It's got this weird rubber tubing build to it. Reminds me of oxygen, medical oxygen tank hose. It's got this awful. And then it's short and it doesn't straighten. And the other crazy thing about it is where it was folded, or excuse me, not folded, where it was coiled together, where it creased, there are indentations where the twist tie went. So on my whole cable, if you rub your hands on it, run your hands on it, you can feel these indentations and dents in the tubing itself. So it's not even circular or flat. It's just terrible. Why would you give this for a $600 headphone? I have headphones and earphones that cost less than $20 that have a better cable. I'm sorry, animals during the daytime. The dogs are out in the living room playing along with the cats and can't control them. So anyways, this cable is awful. The only good thing about it is it has a really nice 1/4 inch adapter. That's it. That's all I can say. The 90-degree is interesting, but it's well built. I mean, it's metal and it feels durable. Goes for 3.5. And the 3.5s on the input end of it are decently built. They got nice strain relief and they're marked L and R for left and right. And they're not bad, but the rest of it, this is awful. Why? I know Hifiman can do a whole lot better, and I know Massdrop can do a whole lot better because I've gotten other headphones from them with decent cables. So that thing is terrible. Why not use the cable that comes with the HE560? Here is the HE560 cable. It has a really nice Amphenol 1/4 inch adapter. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a Nutric. My bad, I said Amphenol. This is a Nutric 1/4 inch with a fabric build on it. It's a little on the stiff side, but it's not bad. Then it goes to a nice plastic split, and then you get the same fabric feel, and you get the L and R 3.5 millimeter inputs, which are the same as on the cable that Massdrop provides, but this cable is 150,000 times better. It's a fabric feel. This feels like it belongs with a $600 headphone. You also, not only that, you get a same build quality cable along with an XLR balanced. So for a $300 HE560, you get two better cables than you do with the $600 Edition XX. You get that terrible medical tubing, whatever you want to call that. That thing is awful. If Hifiman can do that with a $300 headphone, why can't they do it with a $600 headphone? Plain and simple. So if you're getting the Edition XX, don't even use that cable. Throw it in the trash, burn it, get rid of whatever you want to do with it, and get yourself a replacement. If you don't have a decent 3.5 millimeter input cable, I recommend you go to Dyson Audio and you purchase this one, which is the Helix cable. And it is the nicest fabric braided light. Excuse me. This is the 2 meter length, has a nice heat shrink in the middle for the split. Says Dyson Audio on it. Then it goes to the same fabric fill, and you get your red and left and black indicators for left and right. Beautiful cable, extra super light, and just flows, has no twisting, no weird rubbery feel to it. It's just a beautifully well crafted cable. If you need 1/4 inch abilities, you can go with a XLR adapter to a 1/4 inch. And it just works so much better and feels a whole lot better. For $600, you deserve a whole lot better of a cable. If pricing was a problem, then raise the price by $100 and include the 2 HE560 cables, for crying out loud. $700 for 2 cables plus these headphones is well worth it. You're going to end up spending $100 for a cable replacement anyways, so why not just include 2 quality cables or 1 good quality cable instead of that piece of trash? They should give you a $100 credit for that cable. These headphones should be $500 including that cable, if they're going to include that cable. This is the worst cable ever. All right. Simmer down, Dave. Simmer down. Simmer down. Deep breaths. Relax. All right. So, the Hifiman Edition XX. Very well built. Extremely high quality here. Love it or hate it, it does have the old school Hifiman headband. I think it works very well with the look of these headphones. You get a pleather with a somewhat pebbled look on top. Has a little bit of padding on it. It's not extremely padded and super thick, but it does bend and twist, but it holds its form very nicely. You get metal rods and metal yokes. The cheapest part of it is these plastic slider caps, but these feel a little more durable than previous renditions of Hifimans that I've had these sliders on there. They feel a little more durable. Also, they put a little extra oil on them so they slide a little easier. On some other headphones that have had these tend to be really hard to push. So those are a lot easier to adjust. The cups are polycarbonate or plastic of some sort, but they feel very durable. They do not feel like they are going to break or shatter. They do not feel cheap. You get a nice metal grill of some sort here with a little bit of mesh underneath, and then you can see the big, huge, massive driver that goes from there to there. I mean, it's huge. and then you get really nice cups. They the pads are removable. They are angled, as you can see there, with a slight angle. It's not a massively dipped angle. Has pleather on the outside, pleather fenestrated on the excuse me, on the inside, and then you get fabric on the outside, that part that goes against your skin, instead of the velour from like the Focus A pads. This is a fabric feel. It goes along with like the Pally pad or any of the other higher end hi-fi mints that have this, and they are very, very comfortable. Prefer it over the Focus A's. When they are on your head, the headband does a really good job of dispersing the weight. Since these are nearly a pound, they're at 14.8 ounces. They are extremely comfortable. I can actually wear these without extending them at all, but I find that they're a little bit more comfortable if I extend them just a smidge on each side. They fit extremely well. The clamp force is light, but it's just enough to keep them on your ears and so that they don't slip. I find that they have just enough tension in them that they do not pull down and slide down on my face. The pressure down on the jaw is very limited. I do not have any issues with getting fatigue in this area or on my ears at all. These are extremely comfortable. I've worn them for hours on end. Very minimal markings and branding. You have Hifiman Edition XX on each side, and then on the back side you have an L and an R. Excuse me. On the inside of the headbands, on your right one, you have your serial number, which you really can't see. And then on the left, it says Massdrop. Overall, build quality is top notch. The pads are removable. Just pull up on them and you can get replacements from the Hifiman store. Overall, build quality is top notch, very well built, extremely comfortable and light, and I think unique and pretty to look at. They're also not massively huge. You're not going to have them sticking way out here like some headphones can, but on the other hand, you will somewhat look like something out of the Star Trek world, as they are rather large. So if you wear these out in public, people are going to know you have something on your head. And they're probably going to ask, what are those? But I don't recommend wearing these outside. I do not recommend you wear these on a bus, on a train, on a plane, anywhere. They leak sound in and out. Isolation on these is minimal. And minimal is not even really the right word. You can hear everything going around you with these on, and everybody can hear what you're listening to when you have them on, no matter what level volume. For example, when I was burning these in and I had them playing on my THX AAA 788, and I had them sitting up here and I was working at my other desk, and I had the THX at -40, and when you put them on, they're very light on sound. I mean, it was almost to the point of being so quiet that you preferred to be, it wasn't loud at all. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I was sitting at my desk, working at my other desk, and I could hear clearly the songs. I mean, they just leak like crazy. So do be aware of that. If you are wearing these and you have somebody around you, they're going to hear exactly what you're listening to, even at medium to lower than medium volume. All right, Dave, you're 15 minutes into your video and you haven't talked about how they sound yet. How do they sound? Amazing, incredible, and truly, absolutely, I love them. 100%. They have a laid back, mellow, let's just chill and enjoy the music style about them. They are very clean and clear and just have a way of just saying, chill out. Don't worry about the crapola cable that came with it. Enjoy the music. These are incredible. Bass. Wow. Probably the best bass I have ever heard on a headphone that I have owned. Now, I've heard better bass at Head-Fi Meets and Auxpona, things like that. But headphones that I have had here in the office and that I have owned, these are the best bass I've ever heard. Clean and clear all the way across. They extend amazingly deep. The sub bass is just incredible on these, and it is natural and impactful and thumpy without being muddy, without being bassy and boomy and bloomed out. They are clean, clear, linear, but yet impactful. It's just crazy how good this bass is. So the sub bass is deep. You will get rumbles. You will get shaking if you play a head shaker song, and the bass heads will like these headphones. They are a intense but yet clean and clear bass. Now, if you just like your bass to be boomy and to be thumpy, you may not like this. But if you like your bass to be clean, clear, but deep and precise and thumpy, you would like these. So depending on what type of bass head you are, these headphones are for you. It does not bleed between sub bass, mid bass, and upper bass. It's very clean, clear. Every detail, every instrument is separated and isolated out. You can tell exactly what it is, when it's hitting, when it's decaying, and it's doing an extremely good job of showing you the details. You can hear it fade out. You can hear them fade in. The bass is insane on these. Absolutely love it for the bass. The mids. The mids on the Edition XX are very, very laid back, very smooth, but they're not recessed. They're full-bodied. They're there, but they have this just chill way of presenting it. It's just a very mellow, full-body, romantic, lush mids in a way that is not aggressive, not in your face, not forward, but they're not recessed. They're just right there where they should be. And they don't portray grain or anything exciting. And it's just very much natural and true to the sound. I have no qualms about the mids. The mids are some of the best that I have heard. They do have a little bit of a step up in the upper mid. They don't become shouty. They don't become excited or ringing or anything like that. But there is just a little bit more attention up there. You can almost say it's just a little bit more energy in the upper mid, but they never become shouty or sibilant. Unlike the M1060, which had that ringing in the 5 to 7K area, these do not have that, but they do have a little bit more energy in that area. Then you can step into the treble, and you still have a little bit of that in the lower treble and then in the upper treble. The mid treble kind of takes a little step back and is not quite as excited as the rest. But the treble, just like the mids, are very smooth, very laid back, but still have an energy about them, still have a crispness about them, and they have really good airiness to them. They're extremely separated out and isolated, and it sounds very smooth. And a word that I've only used with two other headphones, which are the HE560 and the HD600. It's effortless in the treble. These do have a little bit more energy in the treble, but they're not a bright sound. It's just a very smooth sound to it, but it has a little bit more sparkle and a little bit more clarity. The unique thing about them is you would think that with openness of this size that they would have a huge soundstage, and they actually do not. Now, it's not small and it's not intimate, but it's not the largest that has ever been, but it's fairly good size, and I would put it on the lower on the verge of being medium to large soundstage. So it's big, but it's not massive. And where this really excels is in the soundstage of how it portrays everything about you. You get sounds coming in, and they sound like they're traveling from the distance and then going straight across right here, and then they kind of go off to the distance. You got layers of stuff coming in, and it does the details really well. And you can get things fluttering around your head coming in from different levels, and it's just insane the amount of details that these headphones have, and in each frequency the details are just right there, but they're not forced upon you. They're just built into the sound, and it's just smooth along with the vocals and the instruments, and they're all separated out. Where they slightly struggle at times, not all the time, but just on every now and then, is in the imaging. Sometimes it's not as clear and as precise as to the placement. You'll know that it's over here on the right-hand side, or you'll know that it's on the left, but you can't exactly pinpoint where it's coming from. It's just a little lackluster in the precision aspect of it. Things will sound, excuse me, a little bit clustered sometimes on a few sounds. It doesn't always separate out as well as it should. But for the most part, it's a very unique soundstage, and I love the way that it just has things whizzing around your head and portraying it all. How does it play with other amplifiers? Well, first of all, let's talk about that lower ohms and sensitivity thing. It actually plays really well with the Pioneer XDP30R. Whether you're streaming Tidal or Spotify on it, or you're using your local files, FLAC or anything higher, this actually drives it very well. And it plays extremely well. Sounds nice and clean and clear, and does not have any issues at all powering them. And so it does play well off of DAPs that have good amplification. As far as other amplifiers that I have here, of course, the Monolith by Monoprice, the THX AAA 788, amazing sound. It has a glorious soundstage on it. Bass impact is extremely nice and deep. The mids are nice and lush, and the treble has a nice crispness to it and a cleanness to it with good clarity and details. I highly recommend the THX AAA 788 with the Edition XX. It's a great matchup. The Geshelli Enog 2 Pro and Arkel Pro. The Enog 2, make sure that you have it on gain 2. If you have it on the highest setting, you will distort immediately. But if you put it on the second gain level, it has a good clarity and a good mix to it. And the Arkel Pro does not distort when you're using that. And it sounds very nice, crisp, clean, clear, and smooth. Just be careful what gain you're using. The APPJ PA1502A with the Geshelli Enog 2 Pro as the DAC sounds extremely clean and clear. You get a nice little bit of the tubiness to it, and it adds just a little bit of warmth to the headphone, and it's a very nice sound, plays well with it. Make sure that you change your gain setting to the high setting for it when you use it, and it sounds very well. The Aune stack, the Aune X1S and X7S. The X1S I was not a big fan of. It sounded muddy and dull and just didn't sound crisp or alive. And I tried all the different settings, filter settings on it, and I didn't care for it. But if you put it on the X7S, especially on balance, single-ended was a little weak and also still had a little bit of that muddiness, dullness to it. But you put it on the balanced output and you got extra power, and it just played very well. And it had a little bit of a warmth tone to it, which I didn't care for as much, but it did power them and sound decently well. It just had a little bit too much of a warmer tone to it that I didn't prefer. The Cavelli Tube Hybrid with the THX AAA 788 as the DAC is a great fit. Absolutely love that setup. It had a slight warmth to it, just enough of the tubiness to it that I absolutely loved how it just melded together. And then you get very nice soundstage clarity. Seemed to do a little bit more with dynamics and bring in that, helped with that issue of clarity every now and then, and precision and pinpointness. It seemed to be a little bit better on the CTH, and also on the THX AAA 788. That seemed to do better as far as with placement and precision. That seemed to help that issue. So it kind of just depended on which DAC and amp you use. Overall, the Hifiman Edition XX from Massdrop. If you're looking for a relaxed headphone and still get details, clarity, and have enough energy in it to keep you engaged in the sound, these are for you. I absolutely recommend these headphones, and I love them, and I give them 2 hands up. 10 ups. These are high fives all around. Good job, Massdrop and Hifiman with the Edition XX. Better cable would have been nice. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.